She was always my rock and my hero. And I just feel like I've lost part of my body. Very, very hard.
Hi, I'm Ray Grieve.
And I'm Anne-Marie Grieve.
And I'm John Murphy.
And this is
The Joy of the Faith.
In this video, we have GP here. Our last setup, we had Danny right here. And this trip actually marks a year since we saw her last. So it's definitely been, a tough time for the family. But GP is going to share some tips on grieving.
Yes. Well, even before I get into grieving, I'd like a message to go out to people because I've had time to think about this, and a number of things have happened along the way. But naturally, when you're taking care of someone for many years, like I have, we've been here 11 years, I've been taking care of my wife. She hasn't been able to walk for 10 years. She had 10 years of chemo. She couldn't talk to me the last 7 years, and she was on a feeding tube for 4 years and 9 months before she passed away in October of 2017. When she passed away, it's very, very important that you feel not only a separation and a grief, of course, but you got to learn how to deal with it. And it's not that easy. Some people find it harder than others. In my case, I felt it pretty hard, and I still do. We're never going to forget about something like that happens. And as you all know, many people get even sick from tragic incidents like a divorce or you lost your job. But the ultimate is losing a wonderful, loving spouse. So one of the things I had to do when my wife died was face reality. And I won't go into the details of that, but we all know what that means. And that's hard to do. And we need to express our thoughts and our feelings. Get it out. Don't hold it in. Also, try to avoid depression. And how you do this is you go to God, because you're not going to get it from anybody. People are going to say kind things to you. They're going to say loving things, and they don't really know what to say. You got to preserve your self-esteem. That's really important, because a lot of people go into hiding, and they do very unusual things, especially if you had a very long, loving relationship. It is really, really hard. The other thing is consider support groups. Get into a group. One of the things that's really, really important to take away some of the grief and keep you on track is action. Action meaning getting involved, and also socializing. Socializing is so important. Although it's hard to do at that point, you need to get out and meet other people and get your mind off thinking about who passed away and why. And then lastly, you really need to have faith. Have faith in God, that He knew, like my wife said, God had a plan for her life and for her journey, and that she knew that He was always going to have perfect timing, and He was always going to do the right thing. Even through all her suffering, she handled it with grace and dignity, and I was so proud of her, and still am. She was always my rock and my hero, and I just feel like I've lost part of my body. Very, very hard. However, if you don't have faith, it's even harder. And I've seen that with a lot of people even being in support groups. One of the things that I'd like to finish up here pretty soon with is I'd like to read something, because we all go through this. We all need this. It's really important that we relate to one another. If you keep it in, you're going to get sick. So let it out. Talk to someone that you believe in. It doesn't have to be a priest, but it could be a priest or a rabbi or a minister. It could be a friend. It could be anybody, somebody in your family, somebody you feel like you can talk from the heart to. I heard a story I want to relate to you, and here's how the story goes. My granddaughter Alicia and I have a regular routine we go through when we say goodbye. We wrap our arms around each other and begin to loudly wail with dramatic sobs for about 20 seconds. And then we step back and casually say, "See ya," and turn away. Despite our silly practice, we always expect that we will see each other again soon. But sometimes the pain of separation from those we care about can be very difficult. So in the deepest sorrow that we have when we lose a loved one, however, it comes, of course, when we are parted by death. And by saying goodbye for the last time to someone very important in our life. That separation is actually unthinkable. So we mourn and we weep, and we can face the heartbreak of never embracing that one ever again. Still, we do not grieve like we have no hope. What does that mean? Well, you're going to be reunited. Remember this, because this is going to make you feel good. You're going to be reunited with your loved one someday. I know that they're not here physically, and I feel that too. But if you know that you're going to be there and you're going to be welcomed at the gates of heaven by the one that you love, that's a wonderful thing to look forward to. So thank you, Lord, for the assurance that this world is not all that we have, but that a blessed eternity awaits all of us, and we trust in you. Now, I said this as in my eulogy, and I didn't realize it was in this article when I read it, but at the end, I said to my wife something that I read right here. It says, at death, God's people don't say goodbye, but we'll see you later. And that's what I said to my wife in the eulogy.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed this video and learning from the wisdom of GP. Have a blessed day, and God love you.